Smith's workshop, and it's a very, very strenuous process, and the symbol for that is the tiger. So the question is of the difficulty of scientific exercise, which puts you through a rigor, which is not really a comfort zone. But one has to go through that to understand, and just as fire purifies, so also the mind is purified. Whereas in the case of the the poem which deals with the lamb, it's really a question of trying to get comfort without thinking much. So maybe when we think about the two experiences of life, they are very, very opposite in nature.
Whatever we create, we are going to create. It is we are going to do with the brain. We are going to create with our brain, using our brain, and that brain is from our nature. That brain is given from our nature. But I want to say one thing, sir. If we made we made a brain, okay, so which is working like our brain, which has its own IQ, and then that brain starts working, then that brain starts creating something different. So then what happens? Then how can we say that new brain which we have made, now it's working against that brain is but made from others now. It is working by their own. We are not suggesting anything to that brain which is made by us, but it is creating its own IQ, and it is creating its own. So then we are not. Then we are obviously, sir, we are then changing the nature.
So is it the new brain is created with new set of IQ?
What is the question? सर आपने बोला था कि जो हमारा ब्रेन है, सर, कि हमारा ब्रेन हम जो भी क्रिएट कर रहे हैं, कुछ नया बना रहे हैं, हम लोग जो नेचर में चेंज लाना चाह रहे हैं, तो आपने बोला कि हमारा जो ब्रेन असल में नेचर से ही आया है, तो असल में हम नेचर को चेंज कर रहे हैं.
हमने वो नहीं बोला, नेचर में हम लोग नेचर में नहीं है. इज नेचर डिफाइंड एवरीथिंग माइनस द ह्यूमन बीइंग, वही की नेचर का डेफिनेशन है. तो वही हम बता रहे हैं, हम भी नेचर के अंदर ही है.
यस सर, वी आर ऑन द नेचर. आई एम सेइंग दैट, सर. लेकिन मैं ऐसा बोलना चाहता हूँ, अगर हमने एक ऐसा ब्रेन बनाया जो
अभी तक कॉन्शियसनेस में जितना नेचर हुआ है बहुत ही कम है. वेरी लिटिल साइंटिफिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग अबाउट कॉन्शियसनेस.
No, but okay, sir, we made something. I am not saying that we are going to make or we will make, but I am saying अगर हमने कुछ बना लिया सर, तो सर अब वो खुद का क्या बोलते हैं, वो खुद की उसकी IQ होगी. If we made something,
science, development of science is out of the societal system. It is not that. The development of science, you see the history of the progress of the science. Here also we can see that it has a great effect on the societal rules, regulation and the productive system. So we have to think in this way that you see when the science jumps, means progress of science has a great movement, has a great forward movement. You will see that when there is a change of societal system, means when we have come from a feudal system, means king and system, to the democratic system in the Europe, at that very time, that development of science has taken place in huge speed. So, and still now, in this decade also, at the initial stage of this capitalist system, I will say, that there is a development. Now we are observing in this way that there is a crisis in development of science. There is a crisis. We cannot find it out. There is a huge development like that, electricity or a theory. We are not getting. We are also suffering from the crisis of the theory. And that is also a part of this societal crisis also. We can think in this, that we cannot, what I will say, separate out the development of science, that science knowledge is now direct a sellable product. That molecule, that is cell. So actually market economy, market is also driving the, giving the direction of the progress of the science. So at this stage, the development of science and technology will occur in this direction, which will cater the purpose of the market. So that is also very much important. We cannot think that we are the free thinker, we are the scientists. No. We have our own limitation, and that limitation comes from the societal system. It is what I can think. And yes, sometimes some things happens that is qualitative jump. That may happen, but side by side there should be a change in also societal rules and driving economic average. So that is another aspect I will see. That
in England, one king went to war, and there was this spear, javelin, that went into his head, and he didn't die, but he was in coma sort of thing. So doctors came, those doctors had to look at the king, and they were unable to determine how far the pierce has gone and what part of the brain has been affected. So what was the scientific method they wanted to study? They took a number of convicts and put the spear in there, and then cut the brain to see with this impact this has gone up to that much, and that was the condition of the convict before he died. So that was the scientific treatment. Instead of MRI, what we are doing now, because societal, there was scientific method in that time.
Perhaps even now, perhaps even
আপনি বলেছেন যে we are part of the nature, not outer of the nature, outside body of the nature. So that's why that kind of concept, that we are outer of the nature. Many people believe that we are out of the nature. That kind of concept, that kind of belief came from religious faith or God or such kind of feudal system. It's true.
People normally say that man is destroying the nature, and there the definition of nature is, in my opinion, that human beings are outside the nature. The elephant is also maybe destroying the nature, but we do not say elephant is destroying the nature. He is running over my field, conscious of himself. Origin of this faith, that why human beings should be treated outside nature.
That kind of concept is
Yeah, that's pretty much the thing.
I said number of times, science is never chasing the truth. Science does not believe there is an absolute. That is non-scientific. As soon as you say there is an absolute truth, and whatever your science has written, science is open-ended. I think I stated number of times. That is scientific.
Science chasing the truth in the sense it tries to understand true nature of nature.
Truth. Be it in politics or any
Science never tries to know the truth.
So it's not nonsense matter, I think. But the truth is that
What is truth?
no, actually we want to know the truth, but
No, what is truth? That's the thing. We want to know that truth. What is that? If you are looking to know something which you don't know, then it is very difficult to know it. At least I can know him because I know him. I will ask his name, where does he live. But if I do not know something, how will I know it? So first define what you mean by truth.
So,
I'm just saying to you.
so apart from that, and to find something, we are always we have to question someone. Like say for example, a recent activity was by the NIA, which was by Edwin Snowden, which revealed that US was spying on person. Use the propaganda technique. They said that you need privacy or protection, and again people got confused. Now, like this matter, we always get confused in knowing a certain question. We try to find a different answer to the question. This is not. It is something to do with philosophy.
No, this is politics and technology.
Yeah. It is not science.
It is not
It is a
I
technology.
think
It's in a power domain.
I think I can take up. People are saying that there is no absolute. That is absolutely correct. But what we are trying to find out, you are saying that we are trying to find out some truth about its nature means it's not absolute. In order to we want to identify the true characteristics, true descriptions of this, true means that fact, as I have mentioned, that objectivity, it is the fact. Now, that understanding will be always limited because we do not have complete explanation. We will never have complete. We cannot move ahead. We cannot go ahead. We should stop and just thinking, okay, that is my infinity.
coming out that, say for example, you possibly know about Saros talking about creationism, intelligent creation. George Bush tried to incorporate in the American school system, school education system, as a part parallel to evolution. But there are many other kind of politics. Say for example, science, pure science, institutional form, was many times neglected the differences of the gender. Say for example, Crick and Watson, who received Nobel for the chromosomal chromosomal pattern. But Nobel was never given to the original thinker who was actually providing the theory and the proof behind the double helix structure, Rosalind Franklin. And now Google.
She died at the age of 39.
Yeah, and she was never recognized. Now Google is transforming its logo in the forms of celebrating the 100 years of Rosalind Franklin. But these things are there. The interpretation of science, when it comes to institutional mode, it is hugely colored by power that reigns in political power and the intra-institutional politics. So these things are very much part and parcel of practicing science, but practicing science per se is not science.
Right. It is,
Yeah.
because Gandhi was never given a peace prize, Nobel Peace Prize. Who was given? Huh? You don't know? American president. No. American president actually he is still fighting, but another person. You tell me, Vietnam War time? Oh, that Israel and this thing, the Egypt watchdog. What's his name? Foreign Secretary of USA. Henry Kissinger. Henry Kissinger. He was given the Nobel Peace Prize. So physics Nobel Prize and peace Nobel Prize, chemistry Nobel Prize, these are all human activity, and human activity engulfs everything: politics, science, religion, you name it. You know his company? I do. So that is what I'm saying. If the SAR forces you to think, he has done his job and you do your job. Don't accept that. No. Now it has become so intricately interwoven, at least people cannot delineate that this is science and this is technology. A bit of science and bit of technology is getting totally mixed up.
Sir, but without knowing the science, we can find the technology.
Steam engine was developed even before knowing the science of it.
That's why.
But that was 150 years ago, 200 years ago, What was human history, you cannot forget. What was possible 200 years back, now it is not possible. Like that experiment, as I said, take the convict, put a spear in him to see how much he is bringing. Biotechnology, bioscience, nanotechnology, space science, space technology, you do not know which part is space science and which part is space technology. They are so intricately interwoven.
Add one thing. See, the question of our power, that is
is a very easy person. He's the Department of Computer Science as far as I remember.
I'm not.
Okay. And yes, the topic of our symposium. Thank you very much, sir. We are really indebted to you. Then coming to our respected Vice Chancellor, sir. He's also a very busy person, but he has taken time and spent a lot of time with us, including his remarks in the discussion. Madam, we are really thankful to you. Then to my two fellow colleagues, my friends, Professor Subhashish Bandyopadhyay and Shukant Das. Well, actually, although it is written over there that the Department of Humanities and Social Science and the Department of Information Technology, these two departments are organizing, but let me share a secret. This is actually single-handedly, these two guys, they have conceived the idea and they have done everything. We just provided the logistics support, that's all. So all credit goes to them. If there is anything which is not up to the mark, that goes to the HODs, unfortunately. So I accept the responsibility. Then to all our fellow colleagues, and last but not the least, our students and research scholars, those who were sitting over here, listening patiently, thinking about it, and asking so many questions. And actually, when we organize seminars and symposiums and all this, actually these are directed towards achieving this objective, that how far we can involve our students, how far we can provide some intellectual food, serving the samosas and all this. These are not the food actually intended for the purpose of organizing a seminar. This is the intellectual food that we can provide. It will be successful only when you go back to your hostel rooms or your residence and start thinking about it, raising more and more questions. Just put it inside the classrooms whenever we come to the dais and ask us questions which we will not be able to answer at that point of time. It will force us to go to the libraries and search the internet to enrich ourselves so that we can distribute the knowledge to you. So that will, by that way, it will be successful. Well, my tenure as HOD is almost over. I'm so inspired. I believe that this type of seminars or symposiums should be organized at least on a monthly basis. And Professor Raichowji was suggesting me that it should be held on a better platform, right? So that everybody can be involved into this. So that's it. But before I conclude, I must convey my thanks to the support staffs also of both the departments. Thank you very much. Thank you.